And we are back here on the GSMC Football Podcast. And for the final part of the show, we are going to talk about Joshua Dobbs and his performance on Sunday to defeat the Atlanta Falcons 31-28. So this game was interesting because Joshua Dobbs, he wasn't slated to start. He was the backup quarterback. But, he comes in, doesn't know the playbook, doesn't know his teammates. He wasn't expected to start in this game. And the Falcons, it looked like if he didn't come in, Falcons were winning this game. Falcons were going to win this game. So Jaron Hall, he got the start. He only went 5 for 6 for 78 yards, but he left the game with a concussion. So Dobbs had to come in relief, and he led the Vikings to a win. Now, it didn't start off good because he gets put in, and he got sacked in the end zone by Calais Campbell for a safety. And at that point, it was 11-3 at one point, and then I just thought, listen, Dobbs doesn't know the playbook. I mean, it's a tough spot to get put in. Vikings, I don't think, are winning this game. But that wasn't the case. The Vikings, once it was 11-8, or 11-3, on their next drive, they went 13 plays, 75 yards, over 4.5 minutes in terms of the time of possession. Dobbs connected with Alexander Madison for a 2-yard touchdown pass. So the Vikings were then within 1 of the Falcons. And that was the end of the first half. Then the Vikings opened up the second half with a fumble. Falcons capitalized with a field goal. Vikings then got a field goal on their next possession. Falcons scored a touchdown. I think that was... that was the Jonnu Smith play for 60 yards. And you got to look at on the other side. The Falcons are starting Taylor Heineke instead of Desmond Ridder because Desmond Ridder just hasn't played well lately. Well, really the whole season. And Heineke did okay. So then the Vikings punted. Falcons fumbled. Bijan Robinson fumbled. So I don't know. I guess he's in Arthur Smith's, I don't know. Arthur Smith's doghouse, I guess, because, that's why he's not being used, I guess. I don't know. It just doesn't make sense why he doesn't get used, but I guess because he turned the ball over there at that point. So then the Vikings got a touchdown. Joshua Dobbs, 18-yard scramble. They got the 2, tied the game up. Then the Falcons, Taylor Heineke throws a pick on the first play of their drive. Vikings get a field goal. Then the first 2 possessions in the fourth quarter were punts. Falcons got a touchdown. Tyler Algier, a 5-yard touchdown run. And then the Vikings, 11 plays, 75 yards, under 2 minutes. Joshua Dobbs connects with Brandon Powell for the touchdown. And the Vikings ultimately win the game, 31-28. And you got to give Dobbs a lot of credit because that was not an easy spot to get put in. I mean, this was similar to what happened with Baker Mayfield when, the Rams signed him and he didn't know the playbook or anything, and he let it come back and to beat the Raiders on Thursday Night Football, which I could not believe. Dobbs, he comes in, doesn't know anybody, didn't expect to play, and Jaron Hall gets hurt, and he's got to learn the cadences on the sideline. He's taking snaps from the center, get himself up to speed. And they were saying how Kevin O'Connell was, whenever the offense was on the field, he would tell Josh Dobbs through the earpiece what routes the receivers are running. And and you got to give Josh Dobbs credit. I mean, he the Cardinals, those last few starts weren't pretty. They got blown out a few times, but he was decent with the Cardinals. And the Vikings, they made the right decision going out and trying to keep this season alive and get him because Kyler Murray was coming back. So the Cardinals are going to roll with him the rest of the way this season. This gives Josh Dobbs a chance to really improve his value. His value keeps going up. If he keeps playing like this, maybe gets a starting gig elsewhere. But, it really just makes you wonder, for certain teams, why they just stick with their quarterbacks. You look at, the Jets. The Jets couldn't go out and trade for Josh Dobbs and start him over Zach Wilson. Why? It doesn't make sense. The Vikings, the Rams, they go and sign Stafford. The Falcons, they bench Desmond Ridder. They start Taylor Heineke, who I know Heineke didn't play bad, but the interception obviously was costly. But it doesn't make sense why some of these teams they just are like, we're gonna tough it out with this guy. You gotta at some point you gotta do something. And the Vikings, they got put in a tough spot. They were playing good football, and Kirk Cousins tears his Achilles, and they could have easily just been like, well, we can just tank, mail it in. But no, they trade for Josh Dobbs for a late round pick, and they got a chance to make the playoffs still. And Justin Jefferson might be back this week, possibly. If not this week, maybe soon. So you get him back, and the way Addison's playing, T.J. Hawkinson's been playing well. You got Osborne as your number 3. Powell has made some plays for them. The Vikings, yeah, they could be a playoff team with Josh Dobbs at quarterback. Now, again, I don't expect that. If they're going on the road playing San Francisco or Philadelphia, whoever it is, I don't expect them to win. But you got a chance to make the playoffs, try to make it. And that's what they're doing here. Listen, give Josh Dobbs credit. Listen, the story, and he's been around for a while. He's been bounced around. He's been with so many teams. The Titans last year. I think he was with the Browns. Yeah, he was with the Browns. He was with the Steelers originally. He's been all over the place. Now this year he's with the Cardinals, and then now he ends up on the Vikings. He's been all over the place. But you know what? This is a guy that can be a backup quarterback, for your team. Listen, I think he can get a starting gig somewhere depending on, what a team's doing. He could be a bridge quarterback. But this is a guy that's definitely earned, the right to, start games and be on a roster and contribute. And that's exactly what he's doing. He's played well this year. He played well in this game, and you're with a better supporting cast now than you were with the Cardinals. So let's see what he could do. And you get Justin Jefferson back. That only helps. It's not like he's the best receiver in the NFL when he's healthy, or one of the best. Obviously you're going to have your arguments. Tyreek Hill, Devontae Adams, if he's playing with the right quarterback. Yeah. So. It was great. And again, I got to bring up the spread pool. I did take the Falcons, but if I would have known that what was going to happen, I would have taken the Vikings. Even though Dobbs doesn't know the playbook, but because Jaron Hall came in, against Green Bay and didn't do anything. So if he played the whole game, I really don't think the Vikings would have. I don't think the Vikings win this game without Dobbs. And the Vikings have now won 4 in a row. Right? Yeah, they're 5. They're 5-4 now. Listen, this team can make the playoffs. This team could definitely make the playoffs. You want to see more from their running game, but now with Cam Akers tearing his Achilles, I don't really know what to expect there. Alexander Mattison hasn't been that good. He's had a few touchdowns. He's had a couple of receiving touchdowns. Does he have a rushing touchdown this year? I feel like he doesn't. Hold on. Let's do a dive here. Let's see. Alexander Mattison. No. He has no rushing touchdowns this year. I think he has 2 receiving touchdowns. That's it. That's crazy. But now with Cam Akers getting hurt, he's gonna have to step up. So, we'll see what happens. We'll look at the Vikings schedule now here. Last few minutes of the show here. So the Vikings coming up, they got the Saints at home, which is a winnable game. Then you're at Denver, which Denver's not an easy place to play, but I think they can win that. Home against the Bears, you can win. At the Raiders, definitely going to be a better Raiders team than what you would have originally thought. Then at the Bengals, home against the Lions, home against Green Bay on Sunday night, New Year's Eve, and then at Lions. So, yeah, there's some tough games coming up on the schedule, but you know what? The Vikings right now, I think they could sneak in as a wild card. I think they can. Right now they are in a wild card spot. They're a game and a half up on some of these other teams. Sorry, holding back a sneeze. It's literally the worst when you got a sneeze on these live broadcasts here, because yesterday it almost happened. I'm trying my best here with that. I think we're good now. But yeah, so the Vikings 1.5 up on the Commanders, on the Falcons, 2 games up on the Bucks, the Packers, 2.5 games up on the Rams, Giants, Bears. Well, Giants and Bears are 3.5, but we're not really going to count those teams. Even the Rams, they're slowly fading away. But yeah, I mean, anything is possible. Anything is possible. And then you got Dallas and the Seahawks, who are a half game up on them. So, yeah, I mean, listen, I think the Vikings, and you know here's the weird thing. They're 1-3 at home, 4-1 on the road. That's interesting. Yeah, like, that's good. I mean, that's good, though. I mean, 4-1 record, the 1-3 record at home is not good. But the 4-1 record on the road, I mean, that's great. Like, you want to see that. So, but yeah, credit to Josh Dobbs. Tip my hat to him. And we'll see what the Vikings can do moving forward. But, yeah, that's pretty much it for the show today. I'm happy today we didn't have any issues streaming. We have like a little bit of a different way that we're streaming though than originally. But yeah, no, I was happy to be able to get the full show in. Of course, yesterday was kind of crazy with what happened. And of course, Monday we didn't have a show, so that kind of set us back. But hopefully this won't happen again. But you never know. Things happen. But yeah, thank you guys for tuning in today. Make sure to tune in tomorrow. Obviously, we got the Thursday night game to start off Week 10. Week 10 we're in. I can't believe it. So we'll make sure to preview that. Come up with some other stuff to talk about as well on the show tomorrow. And then, of course, on Friday, we got our doubleheader, football, and then baseball after that. And then that's basically it for the week. And then make sure to look out for all the shorts that are coming out. We got other shorts besides, the hosts doing shorts as well. We also got, some other content with that as well. So, make sure to, leave a like, comment, and make sure to subscribe to the channel. We appreciate that. I'm going to make sure to try to have yesterday's show reposted. So in case you missed anything from yesterday, the full live stream is up, but also I'll have the 4 parts for the show up as well by the end of the day today. So, but yeah, that's pretty much it for me. Again, I thank you guys for tuning in, and once again, for the shows coming up, if you want to get your comments recognized, make sure to go to the following links: streamelements.com/gsmcsportsnetwork./tip. Again, it's a great way to interact with me, the host. Get yourself out there. Your comment gets highlighted on the stream. But yeah, that's basically it for me. Once again, thank you guys for tuning in. Make sure to tune in tomorrow, 11 a.m. Eastern Time, and I will see you guys then. So with that, that's all the time that we have for today. Once again, thank you guys for watching. We'll be back again tomorrow. Well, like I just said, 11 a.m. Eastern Time. And until then, I'm Kenneth Grunfelder signing off. I'll see you then, and take care. Have a good night.